Hello everyone, this is Adam and Eve for the NES, released in 1992. This is one of the games in the Caltron 6 of 1, because it's by Caltron and it's got 6 games on one cartridge. Yeah, well, it explains everything, doesn't it? I mean, imagination is just so last year. You've got to get rid of all the snakes by popping their balloons. Yeah, because I'm sure you'll remember this from religious education. You know, Adam. A snake flying about on a balloon, he goes up and pops it. If you get hit, your balloon will gradually deflate. You can inflate it with those pumps though. And you need to hit the snake's balloons, which makes it kind of fiddly because they're tiny. Apparently there were people complaining about this game, because they said it was irreverent to Adam and Eve. I think there are probably more people complaining about it because it was crap. Although I can see what they mean. It looks like a load of worms flying around a big television aerial. And why exactly has Adam got green hair? This game is actually a rip-off of an old NES game called Balloon Fight, which I think itself was a copy of an old arcade game called Joust. Yeah, because why bother making up your own stuff when you can just knock off someone else's work? Oh, some kind of weird glove puppet there. Mr. Snakey doesn't like you. Yeah, well, I think if you're a little kid, you stay away from children's entertainers who have a puppet called Mr. Snakey. Oh, there's a flipping bird laying eggs now. Or at least I'd like to think they were eggs. That would have changed the whole story. The snake tries to give Eve the apple. Bird craps on it. No thanks, I don't want that. Throw it away and it lands on Isaac Newton's head. He says, "Oh, I've just discovered that I need to start wearing hard hats." These bird eggs are bouncing about all over the place. Does anyone involved in the programme of this actually know what an egg is? I mean, wouldn't it break? There are left and right direction controls, but you can't go upwards just by holding the up button. You're constantly having to hit it over and over again really fast, which means this game is really fiddly, because you need to target the balloons on the snake's heads, which are quite small, and if you hit the snake by mistake, your balloon will deflate. There's a 2-player mode, so you can invite a friend round. You know, someone you don't really want to keep as a friend, who's just an annoying little git. And then you can have the 2 of you bapping about. Balloon Fight for the NES was made 8 years before this game, and it looks and plays much better, which I think kind of speaks volumes really. Yeah, alright, this game is at least a step up from the kind of rubbish that was on the NES version of Action 52, but that is not exactly saying a great deal. The fiddly, awkward control system, combined with the tiny little targets you need to hit, mean that you spend an absolute eternity fart-arsing about, trying to get hold of those air pumps to re-inflate the balloon. The enemies have a habit of hovering about right under platforms, or at the top of the screen, which means it's impossible to hit their balloons anyway. It soon just gets frustrating and tedious, and it's got bugger all to do with Adam and Eve anyway. What exactly have worms with balloons got to do with Adam and Eve? They just stuck the name in the hope of stirring up controversy, which shows how desperate they were really.